All right, what I'm going to have you do is just take a seat.
If you knew, if you really truly knew how fragile your heartbeat was, you wouldn't be able to stand up. You're one microscopic blocked artery, one distracted driver away from absolute nothingness. And yet, you're bored. You are actually bored with your miracle. Wake up! I don't say that to terrify you. That's not. My goal isn't to make you tremble in your bed. It's meant to shatter the glass you're living inside of. Because you are. You're asleep. I have watched. I've personally watched over 4,000 people take their absolute last breath. 4,000. I was a hospice medical director, so I was the one sitting in the chair in the corner of the room when the calendar ran out. Right as the monitor, right as the line goes completely flat. Click. Hiss. I've sat in those sterile chairs for 40 years, and I can tell you this as a matter of absolute, indisputable fact. Out of all of them, the rich ones, the mechanics, the politicians, the mothers, out of 4,000 souls, not a single one, not one, asked to see their bank ledger. They didn't ask to check their emails. They didn't care about the cars in their driveway or their titles. They just begged. They looked up and they begged the ceiling. They begged whatever God they believed in for just one more day, just one more Tuesday to fix it, to just say, I'm sorry. But you have today. You have a Tuesday sitting right in your lap, and you act like you have forever. You act like the clock is broken. You see, society, it's a sickness. They trick you. They tell you to postpone, so you put your joy, you put your actual beating heart into a cardboard box, and you write tomorrow on the top of it. But tomorrow is a ghost. Tomorrow is a scam. I remember, there was a man. Let's call him Richard. Richard was only 52 years old. Very, very successful man. He had the massive house, the expensive imported cars. He spent his entire adult life building this empire, always at the office, always away from home. And then his pancreatic cancer. It's fast. 6 weeks, that's all he had. 6 weeks from sitting in a leather office chair to lying in my hospice bed. I sat with Richard on a Thursday night. It was raining outside. I remember the sound of it hitting the glass. He was hooked up to the morphine drip. His skin was this awful translucent gray. He was so weak he couldn't even lift his own arm off the sheets to scratch his face. And he looked at me with this terror, this absolute hollow, bottomless terror in his eyes. And he whispered, his voice was just a scrape. He said, Doc, I was going to take my daughter to Italy next summer. I promised her, next summer. I just needed to finish this one merger, just one more year. He didn't get next summer. His daughter didn't get next summer. All those tomorrows, all those promises, they just vanished. They evaporated into the sterile air of that hospital room. Why do you wait? I know that when we finally get clear that death is imminent, We learn to stop postponing our joy. We learn to say the hard things, and we also learn to say the most loving things. So why do you wait until you are drowning in your own fluids to tell your Father you forgive him? Why do you wait until you're picking out a casket to talk about how beautiful someone was? Tell them now. If you knew, if you had a guarantee that the monitor was going to flatline at midnight tonight, you would be the first one to forgive. Because pride, carrying anger, it is a dead weight. It is a toxic sludge. And when you're dying, you realize how unbearably stupid it was to carry it. You'd pick up the phone right now. You'd say, listen, let's go ahead and feel deeper together. Let's love and let's live deeper together. But you don't, because you are terrified of depth. When you sit with the dying for 40 years, day in and day out, you develop a divine intolerance. Yes, a divine intolerance for living and loving in the shallows. The shallows. It's where almost all of you are swimming right now. It's safe there. It's comfortable, but it's not alive. You want your heart to go deep. I know you do. Your soul is literally starving for something real. But instead, you perform. You spend your entire waking life performing. You put on a costume. You smile at people you despise, at a job you hate. You buy things you don't even need to impress strangers who don't even know your name and who will replace you 3 days after your funeral. You say, I love you out of habit, like it's an item on a grocery list. No weight, no blood, no actual presence. I'm telling you, the heaviest thing in the entire world is a hospital gown. Because when they finally put that horrible thin hospital gown on you, all of the illusion burns away. That hospital gown strips your title. It strips your bank account. It removes your social media followers. You are just naked and fragile and looking for a warm hand to hold in the dark. Give yourself permission to stop performing. Right now, I am begging you, just stop it. Take off the heavy armor. Give yourself an opportunity to invite presence. Stop rehearsing your life in your head and just be in the room. When you sit at the dinner table, don't think about tomorrow's emails. Look at the faces across from you. Memorize them. The wrinkles, the way their eyes crease when they laugh. Look at them like you will never, ever see them again. Because I promise you, one day you won't. And now I look at the world today. I look at what you people are doing with your miracle. And it literally breaks my heart. It is a modern madness. Complete, utter madness. You have these screens. You walk around staring down at these glowing pieces of glass. Millions of you, just walking around with your heads down. You are trading your unrecoverable, sacred, bleeding time to watch strangers pretend to live. They want you distracted. So, society wants you numb, because a distracted person doesn't feel the ticking of the clock. They don't feel the approach of the end. A distracted person never feels death sitting patiently in the corner of the room, and so they never wake up. They run out the calendar in the shallows. But if you are awake, if you force yourself to wake up before you end up in my hospice bed, you start to realize the greatest secret in the universe. You realize that the sacred, the truly holy, is always found in the simple. The everyday, tiny, beautiful things that we tend to overlook because we think we have an endless supply of them. I had a patient. Her name was Evelyn. She was 88 years old. Her lungs were completely crystallized from fibrosis. Every single breath she took was a literal war. She couldn't leave the bed, and I asked her. I held her tiny, paper-thin, bruised hand, and I asked her, Evelyn, what do you want? What can I get you? She didn't ask for a miracle. She didn't ask for her youth back, or a yacht, or a trip to Paris. She looked at me and she said, Doc, I just want to feel the cold bathroom tile on my bare feet one more time. I just want to smell the dirt after it rains. Cold tile. The smell of wet dirt. These are ordinary things. But the ordinary starts to become more holy because I think we're finally awake enough to notice them. You have a body. You have lungs that actually work without a machine. You can feel the sting of the winter wind on your face. You can feel the burn of hot coffee on your tongue. You can hear the sound of your partner breathing next to you in the dark. Do you know how many dead men and women would trade their entire fortunes just to feel the pain of a stubbed toe? Just to feel something? But you ignore it because you are staring at a piece of glass. So, no. I don't fear death. I really don't. After sitting with 4,000 ghosts, I welcome her. I honor death because death gives me a sense of sacred urgency. It helps me wake up to the courageous, to the compassionate, with absolute clarity. Getting comfortable with death, knowing that it is sitting right there in the corner of your room right now. It hasn't killed me. It has given me life. And I believe, I know, it will give you life too. But you have to let it hurt you. I want this to knock the wind out of you. Wake up! You are running out of time. If you have to, get out of your chair right now. Get off your couch. Get on your knees. Literally. Get on the floor. Feel the ground under you. Let the absolute weight of your own mortality crush you until you weep. Weep for the years you have wasted being angry. Weep for the time you threw away scrolling on a screen. Contemplate that you won't be here forever. Let it make you sick to your stomach. But then, when you are done crying, get up. Think about what you can do just a little bit differently today to make you know that you are living full out and loving full out. Because right here and right now, life is happening. Stop postponing. Forgive your family. Take the damn trip. Give yourself permission to feel the cold tile on your bare feet and realize it is a holy miracle. I am loving you loudly, even though I am just an old ghost on a screen. I am loving you loudly, and I am begging you not to wait for the hospice bed to finally open your eyes. Have a beautiful day remembering that.